just going to share this file. So that's our live stream. It's just going to be shared to our various social media networks, including our good friends, the Splashies at Splash Runners, and our Pinoyathletics group, of course, and I'd say maybe the Palarong Pabunsa athlete group. That would be enough coverage. Okay, so 2 viewers. Also, we actually have viewers tonight. Cool. So, welcome to Sunday's edition of Pinoyathletics' Wonderful World of Athletics. Tonight we are going to just go. We have quite a lot of catching up to do because we have not had a roundup since last week, which is due to being a bit busy with work and that sort of thing. But anyway, as I was saying, so it's Sunday's edition of the Wonderful World of Athletics, and this is broadcasting on our YouTube channel rather than our Facebook page. Even if we don't get many viewers, that's cool because people will log in later and view it, and it will lift our number of watching hours up. So the first thing was there was a bit of sad news earlier today. Good friend of ours from Philippine Sports, Laurie Mendoza, shockingly passed away. Pinoyathletics is saddened and shocked to hear of the sudden passing of one of our great friends and very vocal supporters, Coach Laurie Mendoza of Judo. At this time, we would like to offer our sincerest condolences to her bereaved family and friends, and all the many athletes and people she guided over the years and impacted over years of service to Philippine sports. Laurie, on a personal note, was someone who strongly believed in the work I was doing while I was working with the Philippine Sports Commission from 2013 to 2015, doing statistical work, and always had a lot of praise and belief in the value of data. With her passing, the Philippines has really lost a treasure for Philippine sports. So the next page is relationships between the vertical jump metrics and sprint performances and qualities that distinguish between faster and slower sprinters. So this article was written by Adrian Washif of adriansprints.com, another good buddy of mine. So he's got a statistical and coaching background in sprints mainly, and also in strength and conditioning. So you can go to Pinoyathletics.info vertical jump metrics to read the abstract and then click to find the full PDF file of Jad's research. So in a nutshell, it's the relationship between plyometric movements and sprint performances, and the three key ones that came from this reading and discussions with Jad, which were most beneficial for sprinters, were the standing long jump, which wasn't surprising because I always used the long jump when I was working with the sports academy to identify talent with young athletes based on what they could jump, versus because in a lot of places we went to there was not enough space to test even for 30-40 meter sprints, so we had to resort to standing long jumps to identify talent. There's also a very good long jump. If you Google long jump Pinoyathletics on Google, there's actually a comparison or a conversion rate, which is usual for what a sprinter can jump and vice versa. So, like for example, I think it was 504 meters was about 13:10. 13:05, 13:10 seconds was 504 meters. Also good for the sprinters was the squat jumps, and pre-race activation is demonstrated in this photo by China's top sprinter Su Bingtao, who's run 9:91 and recently ran a 9:98 into a headwind, is doing 6 to 10 tuck jumps before racing for pre-race activation. Now, in my Level 3 Athletics Australia course, we were discussing through our lecturer, Andrew Murphy, who's good friends with Randy Huntington, who work with the Chinese sprinters. For Asian and Chinese sprinters, they were applying heavy squats, half squats, hold at the bottom for 2 to 3 seconds, and then come up, which is, in a sense, a isometric movement. Sprinting is eccentric and isometric. So using those isometric movements for Asian and white sprinters, they found that of great benefit to sprint performance. Another take home from the Level 3 Athletics Australia course was it was advocated that there were some peer reviews that hamstring curls are concentric and compress the muscles and can actually lead to hamstring tears, versus Nordic curls, which are eccentric and lengthen the muscle, which was more similar to sprint mechanism movements. So there was another take home from that. And moving to the next slide, so there's some other sports data. So in regards to lifting, Jad also pointed out that the studies showed that lifting in the 8 rep max range, to develop muscle volume, the 12 rep max range was optimal, but in order to be able to improve your 1 rep max, the greatest base was between 4 to 8 repetitions. Going back to 12 reps was found in the study is not really to help the development of the maximum lift as much as starting later, further down, higher up the pyramid with 4 to 8 reps. So the next 400-meter all-time list. So the top marks for the 400 meters. So Wade Van Niekerk, Michael Johnson, Butch Reynolds, Michael Johnson again, Jeremy Warner, Michael Norman, Wade Van Niekerk, Michael Johnson, Quincy Watts. So Michael Norman's leading at the moment at the world stage. He just ran on 44:20 something, 20:30, 44:30 or 44:27 the other day at Doha. Moving on to the next screen, dimensions of the track at Portawan and the Cosmin Test. So the Cosmin Test for the 1500 meters, start at the 400, run 1 minute as far as you can, record distance, rest 3 minutes, run from where you finished on the last run 1 minute as fast as you can, record distance, rest 2 minutes, same as above, run 1 minute. And then there's a calculator which calculates what you can run for the 1500. So this is the dimensions of Portawan. So Portawan is a 423-meter track around, 415 meters from lane 1, which is unfortunately damaged. So 423 meters from lane 2. And moving to the next screen. The next screen. Okay, maybe not the next screen, so the next. I think I didn't even play most of that stuff. I'll just check that. This could be a bit of a nightmare if I didn't actually show those slides. I'm just going to have to replay those slides. I'm sorry, I'm just going to have to go through them very quickly again. So these are the slides that we missed that I was discussing. I'm just going to go through them one by one. Just pause them for a little while so you can come back and have a recap over those. I do apologize as they sort of got missed out there in the process. But now we're back up to date. All right, so on to the site stats. It's been a busy month for Pinoyathletics. Quora, we were one of the top 10 most views for the keyword 100 meters. So we had 857 visits regarding the searches regarding the keyword 100 meters. Busy month for Pinoyathletics in 2021 for May. We had 45,871 visits this month of May, with the last day not yet over. That's more than double the traffic of the same period last year of 70,290. So far, Pinoyathletics has 162,780 visitors this year so far. The same period last year had 72,984. So also it's way more than double. We had 317,000 visitors for the whole year. Our target for June is to exceed our 23,000 visitors in June 2021 with at least 30,000 visitors. Due to the excitement of the Pinoyathletics Mindanao Track League, our diversion into international track news, and our revamped YouTube channel, we have seen a very large influx of visitors looking for high-quality, factual Philippine athletic news. All right, and now on to some bits about the roundup of athletes. So the big news for this week, I guess, is Kayla Richardson running a PB of 11:57. Her PB stood right back to 2014, so it's a 7-year-old PB which she drew recently, and now she's broken with 11:57. I'm just going to find a video of Kayla's race that I will be sharing with the audience. I'm just going to look it up now. I'm just going to find that video and I'm going to share it. Yeah, so there's the video. Full screen. I'll see it. There we go. So Kayla Richardson finished 6th in that heat, Heat 3 at the NCAA Div 1 Championships, finishing around 30th overall. So did not qualify through to the NCAA finals. Tranisha Terry went on to win the final in 10:89 after running 10:99 in those heats. Now, also in our updates, just take a, there you go. Kayla Richardson, finished 11th in the 11th, just missing out on 2 spots to the NCAA Division 2 final. So we're now going to cross over to that video of Kayla running the 200. If I will now play the video of Kayla's Div 2 final here. All right, stop share. Screen. Yeah, so even though we're getting pretty low viewership on this, we're still going to persist with this YouTube channel. All right, so Kayla Richardson in Div 2, and okay. I'm not sure if that is her Div 2 final race. I think that's her 11:65 race. I need to just check up on that one. All right. Yeah, so Kira Moran threw about a 45 throw, not her PB of 48.24 the other day in the javelin. Needs 51.80 to qualify for the SEA Games. Natalie Away broke her national record of 4:26 with a 4:30 meter jump at the USA Track and Field Open. That mark tied the Southeast Asian record of Chanisa Chumchumdi of Thailand. Christina Knott races on the 31st in Florida, the 31st of May. And we also had races in 100 meter women's in Cebu on Saturday, and a 400 meters in Portawan for men, which we will discuss in a moment. July 15th will be the start of the Baguio training camp. So I'm going to read the news from our good friend in the Malaya regarding that training camp. After being denied actual training for more than a year, locally based members of the National Track and Field team will finally get to resume workouts starting July 15th at the PSC Teachers Camp in Baguio City, according to the athletics chief, Philip Wiko. We already have the venue and we already have the housing, Wiko said of the training camp, where 42 athletes and coaches are set to train for the Southeast Asian Games. So 32 athletes and 10 coaches from the Southeast Asian Games are from the 21st of December, 2 in Hanoi. Wiko, who heads the PATAFA, said that he wanted an earlier date for the athletes and coaches to get back to the track, but this is what the PSC gave us based on their present budget. Except for the online physical fitness and conditioning training, majority, if not all, of the national teams have not been able to train properly due to the present restrictive conditions imposed by the government due to the COVID-19. Wiko has tried numerous times last year to wangle a training camp for the national athletes and coaches at LaSalle campus in Santa Rosa, Laguna, and in New Clark City Stadium in Kapos, but has been turned down by the IATF in charge of the virus crisis. The new Clark City Athletic Stadium was also supposed to be the venue of the National Open Championships. Wiko said the PSC Teachers Camp in Baguio will serve as the venue for the competition to be held in mid-September and will also serve as the final national team tryouts for the Vietnam Sea Games. We call it the National Open final selection and we want it to be held at least 2 months before the Sea Games, he said, adding that he still had to talk to the PSC and Baguio authorities about that matter. Okay. So this was the race from Portawan today, the 400-meter men's. Jerome Sarinas, who won the 100 on the May the 23rd in 10:93. He didn't show up to the 400 today, so it was actually a very close battle with the photo finish time reading at 51:97. As you can see from this photo shot, we can't tell who's won. It was a classic case of a 100-meter runner versus 1500-meter runner, with both athletes being given exactly the same time. From this photo shot, I can tell that the runner closest to us, his head's gone over first, but it appears that the athlete in the other lane, his arm has actually crossed over that line as well. Now, we're both given a time of 51:97 on the video timing. And there are more exciting races coming up that we will discuss shortly. So meets, we've done Portawan on the 23rd of April, the Pinoyathletics Mindanao Track League. Portawan 2.0 just finished on the 24th of May. Pagadian, Coronado, Bacolod, and Iloilo have all been cancelled. So we're looking at Lingayan on June the 12th, Tangub on June the 12th, Binyan on June the 13th, and now June the 20th. The Pinoyathletics Big Mindanao Track League, the Big Crunch at Portawan in the first week of July, and also a meet organised by Pinoyathletics on July the 4th in Baguio. And now, New Clark or Portawan, where is this National Academy of Sports going to be? So we've got some media pieces here. We did a survey on the National Academy of Sports. Will it impact negatively on grassroots coaches and provinces? 13 votes out of 19, or 68%, said yes. 16% said no, and 3% didn't know. And also, how silly was that? You know, the National Academy of Sport people, you know, or the Clark people who are there, they made a survey, and I tried to fill out the survey, and you can't, you know, like, it's pretty much you're just asking for data, and then they're giving you a choice of sports venues, which are just their venues that you can choose from. You can't even suggest anywhere else. So the surveys are just basically designed to just sort of praise what they're doing and sort of pamper them and not actually, you know, collect unbiased data. So their surveys weren't structured in a way where you couldn't even give your opinion. It's just basically ended up as data gathering or sort of like, you know, justification for their project. So, you know, this is my answer. You've loaded the questions to skew the responses. The answers are designed to skew so that you want to what you want to hear, so you can just claim that is what the people want. And the last question, we can't even choose options of another place in the Philippines, which is better suited now for sports events, only the ones you want to provide us with. All right, and now the National Academy of Sport. So coming up next, as there's a lot of news about the National Academy of Sport, and we'll be having a video discussing the issues of the Philippine National Academy of Sport that haven't really been addressed, followed by a discourse on Zoom. So this is what's coming up this coming week. Pinoyathletics invites grassroots coaches, at least one from each region, to discuss their views on the National Academy of Sport and its impact on provincial grassroots development. Please email your details to pinoyathletics@gmail.com to discuss further. We also invite people from the DepEd to join our discussion. Further reading in the meantime, read Pinoyathletics.info National Academy of Sports Philippines. Due to the fact that we've conducted a survey and most grassroots coaches feel that this is going to impact on their coaching in the provinces, I think that, it will be up to the DepEd to reassure them that it most certainly will not. If the DepEd doesn't wish to show it, basically kind of shows that they, are not really, addressing the issues that the provincial and grassroots coaches face, and kind of in a way turning a blind eye. Next page, you decide to vote for your favorite Philippine sports newspaper. So below is the link, pinoyathletics.info Philippine Athletics News. And also check out our YouTube channel at youtube.com, Pinoyathletics, for great training, past Philippine race videos, and discussions. And that's it. I'll just close that. All right, so that actually went pretty quickly, 29 minutes. So just keep in touch on our Facebook page, fb.com Pinoyathletics, facebook.com Pinoyathletics group for discussions, and we've got our Instagram on Pinoyathletics and our YouTube channel at youtube.com Pinoyathletics. And I think that's all for tonight. Okay, so that's all. Thanks, and